everybody, this is Joey Evans, and today we're back with what I 3D printed this month. I say this month, but we'll try to do it as monthly as possible, but sometimes with travel and all that stuff, I don't get to use my 3D printer a lot. It's pretty sad. But before I get into what I 3D printed, I got some really cool stuff that I did this month. There are some questions on the last video, some comments on there. And please do comment if you guys have questions about different 3D printing things, or if you have ideas of what you want me to print next. I love to see that kind of stuff because eventually I'm going to run out of ideas. I just keep searching around. So before I get to that, one person asked what printer I do have. Well, I have a Prusa 3KS is the, MK3S, that's what it is. But I don't use that one much. I have a Bamboo P1S. That's the one I really use primarily. It's very quick. It's very user-friendly. You can use 4 different colors. One thing Jacob mentioned in the comments as far as these different inserts, one thing you can do is use different color filaments for different boxes. And that's a great idea. That's something I have not done yet, is that way you know without looking at the picture which layer goes in which box. You can also use different colors for different layers as well. So you have yellow on the bottom, orange on top, things like that. I think that's a great idea. And also, if you have, like, when you 3D print some of these things, one tip is after you do print, you might have these little strings on there. I know you've seen them a lot. And if you hit them with at the heat gun, they said a torch or something like that. I have a heat gun, or even a hairdryer would work. That just makes it like magic. Those things just disappear. So anyway, oh, and one other comment was on my unmatched storage cases. I have designed some storage cases for my unmatched, and I think I've showed on Facebook. I might put a picture up here, but I have not uploaded those files yet, but I will. If you guys want those, I can put those on Maker World or Thingiverse and stuff if you guys want to print those as well, because unmatched starts to become unwieldy with everything there if you don't have their nice storage container, which I do not. But okay, anyway, so today we've got a lot of different things. First off is an insert, which I'll get to in a moment, and most of these come from Maker World, which is the bamboo with one, but you can use it for any printer, mainly because that's probably the easiest for me to search on my phone. So as I sit there on the couch or whatever, I'll scroll, type in my favorite game, and see what shows up there. So a lot of those are from there. I do have a couple from printables and things like that. But anyway, so let's get started on what I printed this month. Okay, so let's get started with the insert, because it's funny, these are probably the least fun, but the most useful. This is for Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies is another one of those games that takes up so many boxes. It's insane, the amount of boxes. So I wanted something that would combine all those boxes into a couple. Well, this one combines everything, the entire all-in pledge, into just 3 boxes. Minus Galactus, of course, it brings everything in Galactus, except for Galactus himself, obviously, but the Silver Surfer, everything in there fits in this. So this right here fits, like I said, into 3 boxes, and I love how the heroes go into this because they kind of slide into their shelves, and they stay secure in there. They don't slip, they don't roll around as you move it back and forth, because the heroes are the ones you're going to spend a lot of time painting, so you don't want those to kind of bump into each other and chip and all that. So if you do paint them, this is a really, really good one on there too. One thing they do mention is you can actually put name tags on there. So you can put name tags on the outside. So you can see who it is at a glance without trying to figure out a lot of these more obscure heroes and things. I haven't done that yet in mine because they do say it takes a lot of time, as far as add some time into setup and tear down, because you take the name tag off, then you slide the hero out. But I will do that eventually, because I think the payoff is worth it if it's very easy to see those at a glance. But one other thing is, I will say too, this does work with sleeve cards, and like I said, the Silver Surfer can fit there in between or behind like Phoenix's wings. This one, I don't have a couple of them, I don't have like a few of the artist kind of sculpts or whatever, like Old Man, I think Hawkeye or whatever. There's like 2 or 3 I don't have, but those have spaces for that as well. One thing I will say about well, 2 things that I'm still happy with this, but the different crew, the grunts and all that type of stuff, those don't slide in shelves. Those just sit in little circles down there. So if you turn yours vertical, those are going to slide out everywhere. So know that going in. If you do store vertical, you're going to have to use some sort of magnetic thing, put metal in the bottom, whatever, magnets in there, have them stick down in there. For me, it's not really worth it. I'm going to try to store mine horizontal for now. And another thing is, this one does have a lot of lid lift. So it was a lot more than I anticipated, so much to where when I built it, I'm like, oof, that's really sticking out the top a lot. But it does kind of crunch down that multiple boxes into 3. So just know going in, there are some lid lifts, so I would get box bands in there if you go this route. But again, I put the link to this down there. It's printables, it's free, so if you're looking to collapse Marvel Zombies, this is a good option. Okay, next, before we get a lot of the board game thing, this is for an RPG. This is for D&D. I printed this D&D spell slot tracker. That's one of the most difficult things with spell slots. Sometimes when I play an RPG, I love when they go to mana, where you have like 10 mana and whatever. It's like, oh, level 3 will cost you 3 mana or whatever. But there are spell slots in DVD, and those D&D, and those can be a bit confusing. But this spell slot tracker is very nice. It just sits out there. You will put a D6 in there, and it'll show you how many slots you have, and you just rotate it down. When you spend one, you go down from 4 to 3 or whatever, so you have how many of each spell slot or spell level you have left. This makes it very easy, especially with newer players. My daughter is playing a spellcaster, and she is 8 going on 9, so this really helps her know how many of each one she has going forward. And it's also a very easy print. This right here can be printed, I think it can also be printed, without an AMS, with just color swapping along the top. AMS, I keep mentioning that is printer like the Bamboo that will switch colors for you. But if you don't have that, if you want different colors, you can swap it out. This is a very quick, easy print. I printed a couple of these, so there's a couple designs. One D&D, one says I cast Fireball or something. So anyway, this is a very cool, easy print. All right, and finally, this one my wife wanted me to print. We used to have a table topper that we just love. We ended up getting a game table, a special made game table a friend built for us, and it's fantastic. The one thing it does not have is those little card slots. I didn't use them as much, but apparently a lot of my friends and my wife love those. So this is just a large playing card holder. It's a very quick print. Again, this is so if you don't want to hold your cards in your hand, you can put them into this. I've seen these made out of wood, whatever. This is fairly simple to print. Again, it's something that I don't really use that often, but I am surprised at how many people actually do use this. And if you are using it, this is something to take a look. And we've actually printed off, I think, 6 or 7 of them. And we have little cubbies in our game table. So those kind of get tucked in there. So there's one at every station, at every place somebody sits. So if they want to use it, they just reach in that cubby, pull it out, and get to use it. So anyway, I got the link down there too. And this is the large playing card holder. Oh, and I almost forgot this one. This is another insert, and this just makes me happy about how quick these inserts came out. This game just came out. This is from Mike DeLisio here at the studio. This insert's not from him, but this is I Made You A Mixtape. And this insert is already out. I think it just delivered a week ago. So I did print this. This is really new, and this is made to include the kind of the Choose Your Own Grooves expansion. I have not played How to Make Your Own Mixtape yet, or I Made You a Mixtape, but this right here, it's designed to hold sleeved cards, which I think is very important for inserts. If you do use a 3D printed insert, you should probably sleeve your cards, because it really wrecks a card, because there are some rough edges in a lot of these inserts. So if you're going to use one, sleeve your cards. But this is also made to where you can put labels on there, so it tells you exactly what is in each box. You can use whatever Avery labels, or you actually use tape cassette labels it says in there, which I don't even know if those exist anymore. Maybe, but I would just get labels and cut them down to the size you need. But anyway, this is an insert for I Made You a Mixtape. All right, and this is one that I printed because I played this game and I thought this is very needed. This is for Orapa Mine. And Orapa Mine has enough pieces for 2 people to look, and because you're trying to figure out kind of a puzzle about the laser going through there, and you're trying to piece it out and figure out where these different pieces go, but there's only 2 sets or of pieces there. This right here is a very easy print to print out more sets if you want to play with more people. I've got enough for 4 people in my box, which is pretty nice, because although you don't need them, I've written on there the grid. You kind of draw it, you put a Y for yellow, but then you have to erase and come back. If you've got those pieces, it makes life so much easier on that. So, and again, it's a very easy print. I love Orapa Space, spoiler, but those are not available yet. But once they are, I definitely will get those. Although that has magnets, so I don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, this is Orapa Mine. So check out, if you want some extra pieces, this is the place to do it. Make them yourself. All right, and this one, it's funny. I don't know if I mentioned this before or not, but every time I play this game at retreats, which is a lot, people mention these. This is Wandering Towers. These are the towers for Wandering Towers. Man, you got to 3D print something, or you got to buy them from Etsy or whatever. Oh, one thing I will say, somebody did mention in the comments, if you don't have a 3D printer, what to do? Well, you can order a lot of these things from Etsy or the designers, but there's also like libraries, things like that you can go use the 3D printer. Anyway, so this is Wandering Towers, the towers for it. The ones we have are really nice, but they're painted. This right here I found in Maker World. This right here just prints, and you can use them as is. And they're 2 colors too. So these are really good. These 100% I think make the game more fun for me. I've printed other ones in the past that have to be painted, but these again, you've got the raven on the top, the crest, so you can tell which ones are different. They do have to be glued together, which is fine. They stack so easily when they're put together. You can stack them on top of each other. They're a bit more stable than the cardboard ones anyway, and they also fit into the insert in the original box. So this is a huge step forward if you have Wandering Towers. Honestly, this is the one that if you have a friend with a 3D printer, ask them to print you this. It's a very simple print. This will make your life and your gaming a lot easier, a lot more fun with Wandering Towers. So anyway, these are the towers for Wandering Towers. Okay, so next is for a game, Burgle Bros. This one I was working for a while on the 3-level 3 levels for Burgle Bros, because it is, bottom 1, 2, and 3. But then I played with it, and I'm stopping to print that for a bit because I'm not sure what I think about it. It does get kind of difficult the 3-dimensional thing is neat, but I'm not sure how much I enjoy it in practical use. But the tokens in it are another thing. The tokens in this are great. These remind me of the Geek Up bits, which are really nice, but they can be expensive. But if you have a 3D printer, why not do it yourself? So these look great. They all have there's also an insert that fits all these Geek Up bits, but these look great. Comparing them to cardboard tokens, I mean, it's just a no-brainer. And they have everything from the log token. You've got all of these different tokens in there, the stairs, but you also have those more one-off, the miscellaneous ones, which are like the loot, the bombs, the birds, everything in there you've got in these tokens. So there you can choose whatever color you want. I tried to choose colors that match the main tokens as well as possible. But again, I wanted something different. I think I changed the color of the stairs or whatever. These first off, they feel really nice. These print really, really well. So definitely check those out if you like Burgle Bros. If you don't like Burgle Bros, if you haven't played it, play it. It's really good. Surprising. I just played it at East again. And I think that's what motivated me to play it again. So anyway, that is the tokens for Burgle Bros. All right, I figure I'm going to put at least one dice tower in every episode because I work at the dice tower. No, we actually have a lot of dice towers in our house. I mean, before I started working here, right? My wife collects popcorn buckets and I collect dice towers. So this is one that I printed because I just watched the movie this week for the umpteenth time, and this is the Back to the Future Clock Tower dice tower. It's pretty cool, man. I mean, first of all, I printed this thing in marble filament, so I don't have to paint it. I don't think I will paint it. And the clock prints separately, so you kind of can just super glue the clock on there, and you roll those dice down there, it comes right out. What am I going to use this for? I do not know. But I have a clock tower dice tower from Back to the Future. Let that sink in. It's pretty cool. 15-year-old me will be like, yeah, adulthood is pretty good. So again, this is a very simple print. Again, there's no supports on this. I think it printed like 3 pieces or whatever. So no supports. This print, it goes together so quickly, and you can scale it up if you want to roll larger dice out of it. But keep in mind, when you scale something up, you would think if it's 150% bigger, it'll take 150% as long. That is not true with 3D printing. That will multiply the time. Anyway, I think this works great as is. But anyway, this is the dice tower for Back to the Future. All right, and finally, there's another game that I have so many things I want to print with it, but I just printed one recently, and I'm excited to use that in there, and that is from Heat. So Heat, I've got, man, I want to print some gear shifts and all this, but this is the finish line from Heat. This is not needed, but it is great to have. This one right here, it finishes the whole race look. So on one side it says finish, the other side it says start, right? So you also can print it finish and finish if you just want to put it on there after you start. But what's cool about this too is it has a counter on the top. That's a little dial that you can reach up there and then just change the number as you pass through. If you ever do wonder what lap you're on, this is the way to do it. And again, it just adds that 3D element to Heat, which Heat is such a good game. So the more you can add to it, gives you that feel of being in the race. And again, simple print. This prints in, I guess, 3 pieces: front, the back, and then the little counter, which really there are pegs. You put the counter in there, pegs, collapse it together, and I don't think I even glued mine. It just snaps right there together. It's great. So anyway, this is, if you like Heat, try this one. It's the finish line. Okay, so that is several things. That's not everything I printed. I'm going to save some for next time when I finally get them kind of touched up and stuff. So that's what I 3D printed this month. But if you have other things that you are looking to 3D print or things that you have printed for your games, man, I'd love to see them, because again, I do that doom scroll. I just keep going down that rabbit hole looking for everything on the app. So if you have stuff that you like, even for older games, newer games, whatever, because if you can bling out your games with your 3D printer, definitely let me know. If you have any questions about 3D printing, put those down there too, because I will answer that, because I think the hobby, as it grows, I think 3D printing is going to be a great asset we can use going forward. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Again, put those comments below. I'm Joy Evans, and I'll see you later on the channel.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out what's happening, where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.